Hello to everybody watching, listening, and once more, welcome back to Mechabellum. I'm playing as Heavy Armor Specialist with Fang Sledgehammer, and my opponent is playing Aerial Specialist with Arclight Sledgehammer. So, what is this match all about? Well, I will probably put it in the title, but I will be facing some really scary Wasps. And this match shall serve as a bit of an example of how to counter carry Wasps in the late game. For the moment, these marksmen here that I bought will just go absolutely ham on everything my opponent has. I'm not sure if the extra chaff will work out well enough. It's certainly good that these marksmen are wasting their DPS. Though, of course, my opponent has some additional DPS with these arc lights. But the tanks have already gone down, on one side at least. So unless I get a completely atrocious final, what should you call it? There's always the case where maybe these units are anchoring on a tower, and then the marksman takes out my marksman, and the sledges just spend all of their remaining life shooting the tower as the marksman shoots the sledges. I've seen encounters and unit movement like that, and it is painful to see at times. There's Wasps out. This is where the fun begins. I'm not sure what I took. Okay, I took the extra chaff. Having some more powerful delayed chaff is actually not that bad in my opinion. I level one of these marksmen. My opponent adds some chaff in positions that I'm not used to seeing chaff, honestly. But I can't really blame him. I'm making my board symmetrical, added some delayed chaff, and we'll see how this round now goes. So this chaff should be doing a whole lot because it is specifically designed, I want to say, to intercept my marksman's fire and prevent them from just annihilating the opponent again. Because realistically, this is what has happened last time. My marksmen were just doing the DPS. These Wasps are super annoying and they are a lot of DPS. The marksman is finally targeting them, and it's actually getting a level of that. Because level 2 Wasps do give a decent amount of XP. However, with this setup, it's probably not going to work out too well for me. The Wasps are moving in, they are still distracted, but they have the DPS to kill the marksman, and then there's no anti-air left, let alone enough to kill all of this. My opponent can now level these outside arc lights. I guess that is the effect of chaff. He cannot level these Wasps, but there is elite intensive training. Both of us pick it. I put a marksman level here. That, of course, was because the marksman got a lot of XP off the Wasps, and in general it was doing very well in the first round. I add some additional marksmen. My opponent does add additional Wasps. I don't want to commit to instantly building Mustangs into a board that is otherwise Crawler Arclight Sledgehammer. So instead, I drop some marksmen. I put a level on this marksman here so that it can kill these units with one attack. I guess the Arclight now requires 2, but that's better than 4. I add a health upgrade, which should maybe help a tiny bit in some interactions. Will definitely make my sledges more tanky. And my opponent has these Wasps. He sat on them. I would not have been surprised if he sold them. As I say, like, there are so many matches, and some of them I think you will see, where the opponent, after seeing one pack of level 2 Wasps or something like that, is just spending their entire next round's money on getting double what's the name again? Double Mustangs with range. That is just crazy. In any case, the fight is basically over here. And I have a lot more forces remaining. My opponent gets the tower first, but I'm at the foot of the second tower, so this should be a round that I win. And as you were able to see, I did not in any way, shape or form have to get solid anti-air this round. Just the marksmen were more than enough. Round number 4, and this is where the laser sights come out. However, also this is where the missile strike comes out. Now he waited on intensive training. So he can instantly level these to level 4, and they have laser sights, so this is now properly scary carry wasps. I do level my marksmen, they are gathering a decent amount of XP. I should also be mentioning that these crawlers are probably feeding a good amount of XP to the wasps though. Yeah, they are level 4 already. I do drop an additional crawler, and what else do I do with my money? I mass recruit and elite recruit for additional marksmen, yeah. Because right now, just more marksmen is a good counter, though of course my opponent now has a lot more chaff, so it's no longer. He didn't mobile beacon, so this is a strike. Like marksmen that had nothing before, now already have 180 XP, because that is XP divided across your entire board, if I'm not mistaken. Sledges are still decent at chaff clear, but my opponent just has a lot more chaff than he had before. So this is not going to be as good as it was before. However, there's no annoying wasps here once the chaff has been cleared. The wasps here are just being marksmaned down. The marksman here taking out the arc light. Some wasps remaining here. This side will probably lose, but I'm fairly confident the other side can win. And like even so, this is each marksman shot kills a tank. Delayed chaff coming in clutch. That marksman gets completely routed towards the right and doesn't even get to kill any of these marksmen here, even though it might have been able to. Marksmen also get to level again. Barrier for both of us. Vulcan comes out. Vulcan comes out. Shield on both of us because chaff is a problem right now. You couldn't get more symmetrical if you tried in what we've done so far in this round. You even have the basic upgrades on the tower. I level some more marksman levels here because, well, the marksmen are doing fine. And that should be good. My opponent might be expecting fire already. So he's putting some crawlers here in the middle. Might also help to focus my forces on the middle and make the flanks more vulnerable to the wasps. But I'm not entirely sure if that's how the interaction goes. I mass recruit and just drop some additional chaff. Honestly, well, I guess it makes sense. Up to this point at least. They can help shoot the wasps a bit. They take a long time for the wasps to kill. They don't run into the arc lights. So going for additional fangs here is probably not even a bad choice. But my opponent just has a lot of crawlers. Now the Vulcan is being pulled towards the middle. Everything is being pulled towards the middle. Other than the outside crawlers and I guess these packs of fangs. It will all come down to who is able to clear the other player's chaff first. And with the Arclight support, my opponent probably has the edge here. Vulcan is doing the best it can to roast. However, this side has been completely overwhelmed. The Wasps are starting to fall. The marksmen are plinking away at them, but the tower is in great danger and in general this side is being breached. All of the carry wasps on this side go down, but the tower now goes down. The shield has taken barely any damage. And I get cleaned up royally this round. There is some more chaff clear here. Also, if you want to break shields, there are steel balls here. I go for the typhoons. Does he have EMP? He does not. Instead, he has shield. Because I wanted to find out, I remember now, I legitimately wanted to find out if typhoons can counter carry wasps. That said, these are carry wasps with extra range, so it might not be entirely accurate. He does add both range and elite and another level on top of this. He can level both of these wasps even. These wasps have been MVP in the game, other than unit kills. That probably goes to like the sledges here maybe, or the Vulcan. No, the Vulcan not yet. Not even these sledges. Who has killed the most units? Oh, it's this central Arclight even. Alright. I do drop some additional Vulcans. I primarily want the Typhoons to guard against the Wasps. But I definitely need better chaff clear and more in the way here. to stop these wasps from breaking through. Some additional chaff on my part as well, because I also want to deal with potential fire. My opponent even has Stormcrawlers in his army now. Not all of these Stormcrawlers will be... oops, that's too fast. Will be going after the crawlers. Some of them will immediately start attacking here. And probably kill some fangs. Yeah, and damage the shield. Now the wasps right now are absolutely shredding. And the typhoons here aren't doing much against the shield. However, on the other side, this is looking a whole lot better. The typhoon... Is that two? I think that's just one typhoon who is left. Was, at least for a while, killing a bunch of wasps. So even with these upgrades here, typhoons still were outranging these wasps, even if not by much. However, the carry wasps here are officially now wrecking me on this side. Breaching or breaking the tower near instantly. I still have a bunch of marksmen here, but it's officially like panic time. Because these range elite, what's the level now? Level 6 soon to be wasps with laser sight are outranging my marksmen. My opponent picks a second laser sight module. I have the choice between range specialist and laser sight. I'm not sure what I was planning to do unit-wise here. I think I go for the laser sights. In retrospect, maybe the range specialist. My opponent does, in fact, maneuver around the wasps here. Yeah, I go for the laser sights. I want to see if I can match the range with the typhoons and make that efficient enough, but these typhoons have been doing absolutely nothing but shoot shield. That has basically been their entire existence so far. Now an advantage, like imagine how many times worse this board would now be if I had Mustangs out. Everything my opponent has on the ground, legitimately every single unit on the ground, can deal with Mustangs pretty well. That's why I opted for Marksman. And since Elite has now reduced range, but higher damage, it's actually so that it's actually better to have Mustangs now against Carry Wasps, maybe. But I definitely think that since Carry Wasps almost never come out in high numbers, getting Marksmen is just better overall use of your everything. I put a level on these Typhoons because I definitely want them to clean house against the Wasps. The fire is pretty bad, everything gets lured to the middle, and my chaff is absolutely obliterated. Then again, the same kinda also goes for my opponent's chaff. So I'm not even sure if that is so incredibly beneficial. Shield has gone down, probably because of the lack of chaff. I have some chaff here because my opponent didn't really have all that solid chaff clear on the side. I managed to blow up a bunch of Vulcans, but these units were not targeting the correct opponent units. Marksmen are plinking away at the Wasps. But at the end of the day, under a tower debuff, it once again looks like my opponent might win this one. I don't yet have any upgrades on these marksmen. They are not getting the tower, and my opponent's Wasps once again win the round.